Alright, how do I... Oh my god. Okay. You guys see this? Oh, it's covering my head. Alright, hold on. Before I go any further, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I gotta go to the bathroom. Shit. I'm not disconnected, I'm back. I can't bring the mic to the bathroom with me. It won't reach. Alright. Villa is in the bathroom. Okay, you know what? I have to change the stream from Skater XL to just chatting, because I don't want somebody to click on this expecting Skater XL and then seeing like me reading Bam Margera Villavallo fanfiction. I don't want that to happen. Alright. That's fixed. No, I'm not keeping it Skater XL because I think somebody joined earlier when I was just playing Tony Hawk and wanted a Tony Hawk stream. Alright, I'm gonna look up sexy SNES music. No, it doesn't exist. Okay, well, you know what? I can just keep this on. Here, let's find a new track here. Oh, here we go. Villa is in the bathroom. For Bam, it's probably the first quiet time today. First, he had to make it to California. His flight was super early. He had 2 skating events, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. Then he made it to the venue, watched the show, hung out with the boys, and now he is extremely, yet rightfully tired. He's gonna tour with him for a few days. Tonight he shares a room with Villa, because the hotel was already booked full when he announced he was coming along. It was a last-minute decision, actually. He was missing the guys, and the phone conversation with Villa made him want to see him again. The dude always knew how to improve his mood and add a little something to his existence. The bed seems comfortable, even though he hasn't even lay on it yet. It's calling him, luring him, and Bam does feel the sleep taking over, but for some reason he's struggling in order to stay awake. He doesn't want to go to bed. Not yet. He just wants to distract himself, really, and he thinks that he'd like to hear from Ryan or Deco, whom he left in Pennsylvania this morning. Though actually, he's been so busy in the last few days that he hasn't got the time to get a hold of them at all. Now that time has slowed down briefly, seems the right time to try and hear from them. Maybe from his family, too. But when he clicks the big button on the center of his cell phone, the screen doesn't light up. Just reading it like Rod Serling. The screen doesn't light up. He tries again and nothing happens. He tries switching it on and off, and the only thing he sees is the phone company logo appear for a few seconds. Then the display is black again. He sighs, stand up. He's gonna need a charger or someone else's phone. Villa, dude, he says against the bathroom door. Dude, can I borrow something? The sound of water is running loud. It just barely covers Villa's voice. Humming something, a tune he can't recognize, coming from his chest, throat, and mouth. Bam is all for going apeshit in general, is all that chaotic energy you see him on TV, even in real life, but for some reason he just going for it, and using Villa's stuff without his permission doesn't sit right with him. He knocks once, but Villa doesn't hear him, even if he has the humming seat. Hold on. Can I read this on stream? I feel like it's TOS. Because I know pretty soon there's shit. I flicked it in my finger. Pretty soon it's gonna get down. They're gonna get down and dirty. They're gonna get down and dirty pretty quick. And I don't know. I don't know if I can read this. I mean, can I read that? I don't know. Even if the humming has ceased. So he thinks he's seen the guy naked countless times. There's no homoerotic tension between them whatsoever, so fuck it. Thank you, Ionic DJ, for subbing. He opens the door quietly just a little bit, and suddenly he's reminded of other similar times he's honestly been trying to forget. What? What does that mean? Thank you. Thank you for playing that. So are they saying he does gay stuff and blacks out? Like that time in Westchester, well, I guess we'll find out. Like some time in Westchester, some months back, Villa was still with his ex-girlfriend, and they'd all been partying at Bam's. It was around 4 a.m. when the drinking usually stops and no one grooves to the music anymore, and you end up walking over passed out, people on the floor if you don't pay attention enough, or worse, you're wearing a nice pair of shoes, someone spilled drink or even vomit. The time in the morning when you're still a little drunk yourself, but not as much, when you want to find a spot to throw yourself onto and close your eyes until the room stops spinning and you peacefully fall asleep. Oh. It's weirder? Oh, God. Bam was looking for said spot, maybe a couch. There was someone sleeping in his bed. Bam didn't know who and wasn't sure he wanted to find out either. When he thought he finally found it, a non-occupied couch at 4 a.m. in his house, right when he thought he'd finally be able to rest, he caught Villa and his then-girlfriend, literally fucking, on his couch at 4 a.m. Every normal person would just head off, change room, or close the door, pretending they hadn't seen anything. They'd get out of the hair and move on, but Bam had never been a normal person. Hey now, come on. Don't say that. Don't say that about Bam. What the hell? Bam had never been a normal person, and he was drunk now, too, so of course that's not what he did. Bam stood there watching Villa thrust in and out of the girl, his ass clenching whenever he was pushing deep inside of her. Breathy moans entangling quietly together. The unmistakable smell of sex pungent in the air. He just couldn't stop watching. He could feel himself harden. And then suddenly Villa's eyes were on him. Bam was too drunk and tired to bother to look sorry, embarrassed, or indignated, which he wasn't by any means. And when Villa looked at him, he just stared back,
Villa kept fucking her as she was groaning into his ear and scratching his back. He kept fucking her harder and harder, all the while keeping his eyes on Bam. And when she finally came, he grinned triumphantly, smugly, obnoxiously. He smirked cockily and looked at Bam, only closing his eyes when his own orgasm washed over him. They never talked about it. Bam dismissed the matter by telling himself he was drunk and horny, and everyone would be turned on if they saw two people going at it.
Thank you.
He didn't really dwell on the image of sweaty skin, messy brown hair, the occasional flashing of balls and cock. He thought. He didn't dwell on the cocky look on Villa's face and how his eyelids were heavy and his lips parted. He didn't really dwell on any of this, but it did appear in his dreams once or twice.
The flashing of balls.
Another time Bam remembers, but has been trying to forget, was this once in the back of a club somewhere in Europe. It was between shows, and again they had been drinking a little too much. When weren't they drinking anyways?
I can't do the voice anymore. I'm feeling lightheaded. They were drinking, and Bam can't remember much. To be fair, he remembers it being darker than other pubs he knew and frequented. He remembers the smell of beer and Villa's laughter. See, I made myself gassy. And a strong, safe grip on his waist. He remembers the smell of alcohol mixing with the scent of tobacco and the one of skin. He remembers it feeling too hot, too dense, the air making it hard for him to breathe. His hair was sticking out to the back of his neck. Villa kissed him. It was brief, but for that moment, Bam kissed back. They never talked about it either, and again, Bam blamed it on the alcohol. Like that Jamie Foxx song. Remember that song?
Sucker!
Thank you, Frisbee. At least Frisbee, at least it's not Mystic River. It was brief, but for that moment, Bam kissed back. They never talked about it either. And again, Bam blamed it on the alcohol because, of course, he wasn't interested in guys. Villa wasn't either. Alcohol makes you horny and touchy and feely and cuddly, and they just happen to find themselves in each other's close proximity alone, and there's nothing more to it, just alcohol entering Villa's brain as much as Bam's. Now he's sober. Sure, he's tired and sleepy, but sober. So he can't really blame the alcohol for the fact that his body is reacting to the scene in front of him. The scene in front of him consists of Villa naked under the hot water jet, hair all wet, covering part of his face, hard cock held firmly in his hand. Bam's breath catches, and he just wants to close the door and go to bed and pretend he's asleep before Villa sees him. But he just can't. Just like that one time when he caught him fucking the girl. It's just like that one time he's staring, saying nothing, doing nothing, panicking inside, and appearing perfectly still. Villa doesn't notice him. He keeps stroking his cock as the water washes all the soap away off his body. His finger's just a tiny bit loose. The movement's lazy, idle, taking his time. Bam watches as his thumb runs over the head in a circular motion, spreading something white. Bam's positive isn't soap all over it. And as he watches, as his bottom lip sticks out in a pout just barely, his eyes are knitted together as he's focused, his eyes barely opened and fixed on his dick. When the head goes down,
around, stroking the whole length on its way to the balls. Bam swears he can hear a weak moan, a sound that sends a shiver down his spine.
DK Crew for Life. This is fan fiction about Bam Margera and the lead singer of the band Him. How much longer is this? Oh my god. But it's when the pace grows faster that Bam's cock gets fully erect, constricted by the fabric of his clothes. Villa's strong hand is stroking in the earnest now. His back rested against the wall, his cock looking massive from the amount of blood in its veins. And from Villa's rough and deliberate touch, he sends his head back, breathing ragged, almost done, and Bam's fingers tingle. And right in that moment, Villa looks at him directly at him, and Bam's eyes widen. Just like that time. Villa smirks. He smirked that smirk of his. He smirks that smirk of his.
The one he wears when he knows he's hot shit.
Pirate. No. iPhone 4 Cool sent this to me. This is Bam Margera erotic fan fiction. Villa smirks that smirk of his, the one he knows, the one that drives girls insane and drops their panties.
He isn't mad or embarrassed or apologetic, quite the contrary. He's confident and lustful and unashamed, please. You like what you see, Bammy?
It's the lighthouse now. It's the...
You like what you see, Bammy? The sentence comes out somewhat strangled because as soon as it leaves Villa's pink mouth, ribbons of cum spurt out his cock, his breathing even heavier now, more ragged as he still manages to grin in its rapture. To grin and bite his lip. Motherfucker!
Your pants say yes. Oh. He says when it's over, cock softer, looking right at Bam between Bam's thighs. He chuckles. Villa turns the water off, comes out the shower, and wraps a white towel around his lips. His hips, not his lips. Looking graceful as fuck, even when he does something as simple as that with those all wet brown curls framing his face, lips flushed red. Herzog voice? Oh, God. Oh, God. I'll try. Villa turns the water off, comes out of the shower, and wraps a white towel around his hips, looking graceful as fuck, even when he does something as simple as that, with those wet brown curls framing his face and lips flushed red. Which is when Bam realizes he still hasn't said a single word, but he couldn't speak for the life of him. His brain is completely empty, as if he was the one having just had an orgasm. Not even a simple orgasm, no, make it the best fucking orgasm of his life. Villa walks over to the doorway where Bam has been standing the whole time, and the latter's heart starts beating fast. I thought you said you weren't into dudes. I think you may want to reconsider, Villa says. Remember that time we were drunk off our asses and kissed God? I even remember how that happened, just your lips on mine and you were kissing me like you wanted to fuck me. Villa? What if we did it again? What? Bam's breath is short. This goes on. Okay, we're towards the end here. Oh,
Patrick Gang.
I know. It doesn't sound too much like Herzog. Bam's breath is short.
Kissed, Villa says, looking right into Bam's eyes, piercing green stare, transfixing him, his voice lower than usual, making Bam sigh softly. What if we kissed again? Bam just might not completely be straight after all things considered. He rests his lips on Villa's. Villa's shocked at first, as if he wasn't expecting it, but seems more than happy to return the kiss, resting his hands on the back of Bam's head and probing his tongue with his lips. Villa's wet skin makes Bam shiver, the droplets making his lips softer. His hands cold and not in an unpleasant way, and his mouth is warm and inviting, his movements sensual, languid, and Bam thinks maybe if this is what he's been missing out on, if this is what it feels like, then he's probably not straight at all. Villa's wet skin makes Bam shiver, the droplets making his lips softer. His hands cold, but not in an unpleasant way, and I read this already. Fucking finally, Villa says with a smile when they part. Bam looks down, blushes, and then Villa touches his hand, not quite holding it, but brushing it with his fingers against it. It's sweet, and when Bam looks into his eyes again, he's smiling tenderly, reassuringly, in a way that makes Bam's heart burst. Maybe it won't be that bad.
Oh, I didn't even think to do a him or Peter Griffin voice. Yeah, I'll read it all again as Peter Griffin. I'll just read the good parts. Hold up. I was just trying to see what song that was. There are more of those. Oh boy. He didn't really dwell on the image of sweaty skin, messy brown hair, the occasional flash... Oh, fuck. I'm losing the Peter Griffin voice. You know what it is? No, anytime I try to do a Paul Giamatti impression, I'll end up doing Peter Griffin. So if I just think Paul Giamatti, maybe it'll work. He didn't really dwell on the image of sweaty skin, messy brown hair, and the occasional flashing of balls and cock, he thought. He didn't dwell on the cocky look on Villa's face and how his eyelids were heavy and his lips parted. Not that good. I think my voice is strained from doing fucking Gilbert Gottfried. But wow. What a ride that was. Let's see. Well, this one's in Russian. Yeah, no, this is like hornier than I wanted this stream to be. I don't know. I don't know about reading any more of these.
Podcast about list.
I don't know about that. I'm not gonna do